Hello and welcome to Learning from Lauren. I am Lauren, and today we are going to be talking about what it's like when a client cancels and what that means for you, and a bunch of other different things. And this is to better help you when you're a travel agent and you are working with clients because some people will cancel on you, even though they booked the deposit, even though they're supposed to go in about 5 days on their trip. People will still cancel. So let's talk about what that means for you. If you're new here, hi, I am Lauren. I am a travel advisor and a teacher of over 21 years. And when I became a travel agent, I saw that, wow, there are a lot of holes in learning, especially in the beginning for a lot of travel agents or travel advisors, whichever one you call yourself. I always interchange them sometimes. Travel advisor is sometimes more specific for some people and sounds more professional. So, if you are here, please subscribe so you can learn more about how to become a travel advisor, what our life is like, and things that come up as a travel agent or travel advisor. I do have a fly buzzing around that I've been trying to get rid of for about 2 weeks, and I still can't get rid of him. So, if you see him in the screen, just say hi because he's apparently here to stay. Okay, so let's get into it. When you're a travel advisor and you finally get someone and they book with you and they've put down that deposit, in your mind, you're like, okay, well, they're booked and they're definitely going on this trip. And you need to think of it just like you would any other business. You're not going to think, okay, someone ordered their pizza, so they're definitely going to come pick it up and pay for it in 20 or 25 minutes or things like that. Until that person has picked up that pizza, it's not guaranteed that that person is going to walk in that door and pick up that pizza and pay for it. So you don't guarantee that money exchange until it actually happens. And the same thing happens with travel. You're not guaranteeing that anyone is definitely going to travel until they're actually there and even return from their travel, because things can even happen when they travel. So let's talk about that first. If, let's say, someone's put down a deposit and they've done their final payment, and then they call you about, I don't know, 5 days before they travel, and they say, oh my gosh, there's been a death in my family and we can't go, or, I lost my job and I need that money back for my vacation. I don't even know how I'm gonna, pay anything now. Or, I suddenly, have to do something else in my life. They're all different types of things. Maybe that person has gotten so sick or they're in the hospital or things like that. Like, it's not things that you want to think about that are going to happen to people, but they do happen. And so you have to understand that as a travel advisor, that no one is guaranteed on going on their trip until they've actually gone and come back. So the money that those people have spent, even though they have paid for it, paid for the trip in full, it doesn't mean that you are necessarily getting that commission or that they're definitely going on this trip. So if someone calls you and says, I have to cancel, even though it's past my final booking date, first you want to check to see if they have insurance. Hopefully they have insurance so that that can better help you. But then your job is then to call to see if there's anything that you can do because of these unforeseen circumstances. If you can cancel, try and move their date maybe to a later date. But if they're really looking to cancel, it is your job to work for the client to see what you can do. Now, if they have travel insurance, then you try and do what you can do for them and then let them know that they need to go through their insurance and make their claims. You don't make insurance claims for your clients. They need to do it themselves, but you need to provide them with the paperwork that, yes, it has been canceled. Here are the emails that show that, yes, it was canceled on this date and all these types of things. So that is your job. Even though your income might be lost at this point, you need to do it. And if someone says that they want to cancel that, let's say they booked a trip and all they have is their deposit, and let's say 2 months later they say they want to cancel it. It is your responsibility when they say to cancel it, say, okay, yes, I have canceled your reservation within like 24, 48 hours. You want to be canceling that reservation and letting them know when they can expect that deposit back. It's really important that In some states, it's very specific that if a client says that they want to cancel a trip and you do not do it within a certain time frame, that you are liable then for that money. So please make sure that you know what the rules are in your state, and that if someone asks to cancel a trip, it is not your job to talk them out of it. You might want to talk to them to see what the issue is why they need to cancel. But I can think back to when I used a travel agent before I became one, and I would just say, I needed to cancel my trip. Can you please cancel my trip? I never gave them a reason. I just said it. So if it works both ways. You can't like talk someone out of it. And, the way you kind of recover from that is if they're just canceling and all they've done is a deposit, you say, "Oh, please let me know there is a way that I can rebook you at a different time, or please reach out in another way. Or if there was something that I was not doing, please let me know so I can better help you or future clients because I'm always trying to improve." Like you want to make sure that you're keeping it positive, and you want to make sure that you're helping yourself, because you might have said something or done something that you don't even know that you did, and that might be a reason that someone's canceled. Now, it might have nothing to do with you at all. They might be too embarrassed to let you know that they can't actually afford the vacation that they talked about, or that, life has changed and now maybe they're getting a divorce. And so they don't want to tell you that they're getting a divorce. They just want to say, like, cancel my vacation. So please, you have to have that respect side that you're going to cancel, and try and reach out to see if there's something you've done. Now, if we're talking about they've already done their full payment and you need to cancel their reservation, again, it's your job to do the best you can to try and get your clients that money back the best you can. Otherwise, give them all the information so that they can make those claims for insurance. Again, I will say this is such an important reason why I think charging a fee or charging some sort of something upfront before you book travel for someone, before you show them quotes, is so important, because clearly you have done all this work. All this work has been done and you have done it. And it's very upsetting when a client cancels on you, and that means it's lost money on you. If you have that travel fee that you charge at the beginning, it's less of a blow on you, and you haven't completely lost out on all the commission and all the work that you've done, because you have that fee that you have charged to be like, okay, well, at least like I get some money from this. It does help you in the future. You also need to know in your agreement if you have a cancellation fee. I don't have a cancellation fee because I charge a non-refundable fee to begin with, so I don't charge you extra then to cancel. Now, if you have a client that is constantly booking and canceling and booking and canceling and booking and canceling, then you could put in a cancellation fee. You just need to know you absolutely need a contract between you and that client in order to establish a cancellation fee. You can't just hold their money hostage and say, I am not giving you your money back until you pay the cancellation fee. You get into a weird gray area. So you want to make sure that you're using a lawyer when you're writing up these contracts, and that you understand what your cancellation fee can be. And it's going to determine based on which state you're in. So you're probably going to want to err on the side of caution and go with whatever the strictest state is based on cancellation fees. So you need to know what that is. And I truly, 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 truly believe you really, 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 really need that agreement signed so that you have that in writing and how it works. You need to have something in place. Everyone who books for you is not going to stay booked with you. Things come up in people's lives all the time. And you cannot expect that every person that ever books with you and pays a deposit is definitely going to travel. So you need to think about that. And if you're looking at your numbers, trying to, make sales goals and things like that, you need to establish that there's going to be a certain percent that is not going to travel. Hey, if that changes and you beat it, that's great. But if you don't make that goal, it's also okay too. You're just trying to help better yourself. And you can keep track of these things, like how many times people cancel on you and different things like that. So you can keep that all in mind. But you need, even when you're starting out, you need to understand how are you going to work when someone comes to you and says, I need to cancel. Especially if you're out there saying, oh, for Disney, it's a big thing. Like, oh, put down a $200 deposit and you can always cancel it later. If you're going to advertise that you want people to book, but they might cancel later, you have to understand that people are going to see that like, oh, I'll just book and then I'll just cancel it later because they might just like be in their dream mode of, okay, I'm going to book something for fun, but I'll probably just cancel it later. Again, if you're charging a fee, people aren't going to do that. They're going to book because they want to book. And you're not going to put it out there that you're booking to try and get people to cancel. You want to talk about that deposits are refundable to a certain point when you're booking guests, but that's not something you want to sell people on because you're just telling people that you're really good at booking and canceling their trips. And that's not what you want to be known for. You want to be known for being a professional that can give you information that's going to be helpful for you in the future. And even though they might not book and even though they might cancel now, you don't know they can come back at a later date and still book with you. All right, that will do it for today. If you are new and becoming a travel advisor and want to expedite that service and want to learn from someone who is not a travel agency owner that's trying to get you into their travel agency, I do have a course below if you are interested. It does help you fast track to become a travel agent much faster than if you did it on your own. Trust me, I learned all the wrong ways to do a lot of things, and there's important steps that you need to take in order to make this a real business. All right, that will do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you next time on Learning from Lauren. Bye.